All right, let's go to Thursday night, ACC matchup. NC State Wolfpack, Georgia Tech, Yellow Jackets. Georgia Tech, 9-point home favorites, 52.5 the total in this game. Obviously, when you look at these two teams in particular, what we have seen from NC State, been a tough year for Dave Doran, but all of a sudden, they've won 2 of the last 3. Cal on the road was a very impressive win. And then, of course, they beat Stanford big time, 59-28. They did lose last week to Duke, 29-19. Bit of a step back for C.J. Bailey. He struggled. He was less than 50% completions in that game. They could not run the football at all against Duke, and they end up losing by a score of 29-19 last week to the Blue Devils. I should say 2 weeks ago. Both teams are off byes, so there's no advantage there. NC State and Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech coming off the win against Miami, 28-23 outright as 9.5-point home underdogs in that one. Of course, Haynes King returned to the field at quarterback for Georgia Tech. Played pretty solid in that game. It was more so with the run game. He only had 6 completions, 6 attempts and 6 completions in that game against Miami, but it was enough. We'll see how he fares here on Thursday night. They do have some questions at the running back spot. Jamal Haynes, we'll see. He left the game due to injury against Miami. We'll see if he's back. And the other receiver, Chad Alexander, banged up a little bit here for Georgia Tech as well. We'll see if those two are in the lineup. NC State going on the road. They beat North Carolina as slight road favorites, but they're step up in class road games in ACC play, CMAC. I mean, at Syracuse, they lose outright, as road favorites. At Louisville, they were 9-point dogs. They lose by 12. And at Virginia Tech, 11-point dogs. They lose by 15. I don't think I've seen enough of a good track record as a road dog in this conference against the better teams to trust NC State. Do I want to lay 9 with Georgia Tech? That's not exactly the point spread role I like them in. So has me not really feeling this game too much from a betting perspective. What do you think here, CMAC?
Yeah, I get it. It's just been tough. NC State just were so bad early on in the year. Didn't want to really back them, but why would you? I mean, they were horrible. Now 5-5 record, but 2-8 ATS. The team just hasn't got you any cash this year. I think just under 10 here. I was thinking if you could get a little bit more, maybe look at NC State. But when I've had a team that I haven't really wanted to back all year, and Bailey's been hit and miss. You talked about last week, it wasn't very good, or 2 weeks ago, 16 of 39. I mean, that's just not going to do it. Whatever he had, 180 passing yards. I mean, Georgia Tech, though, we want them a lot as dogs and almost laying double digits. It's a game I think they can win. And NC State, too, they need want to get one to get to a bowl game. I mean, it's this game, and then next week they're at North Carolina. So they need one more out of the next 2. So I think they'll be playing hard. I don't know what to make of their defense. It hasn't been very good all year. And it seems like Georgia Tech should be able to run the rock all over them. And Georgia Tech has the better defense, all year. And the numbers show that. So we will see if that Georgia Tech great offensive line, if they can run over this Wolfpack defense. They have 140 on the ground. It's not crazy, but yeah, I guess I kind of lean NC State. There's just I don't know if I can get to the window and back these guys.
They have not been on the road very much, that's for sure. NC State, just Clemson and Cal, the 2 ACC road games.
These last 2, they're on the road though, right? At Tech and at Carolina.
Exactly.
Yeah, they hadn't been before. Yeah.
It's a really tricky game because it's Georgia Tech -9 is not optimally always when I want them. That being said, I worry about them against the Georgia Tech defense has gotten better, and NC State with that offense, they need to be able to run. Georgia Tech, obviously, their strength is running the football, but NC State's actually been slightly better against the run, but still not great. I mean, they're 60th against the run and still giving up 140 rushing yards. So that's why, those numbers still aren't that great. Georgia Tech should be able to move the ball on the ground. And if they do, there's a chance they cover this game at the end of the day. All